May 8, 1945, Germany surrendered to the Allied forces, ending the war in Europe. But the war raged on in the Pacific against the Japanese, with what seemed more ferocity than ever before. With no real end of the war in sight, the United States begins to plan a mass invasion of the home island of Japan, codenamed Operation Downfall. The magnitude of such an invasion would dwarf the Normandy landings. Japan was also hard at work, preparing the country for an all-out defense in honor of the Emperor Hirohito. The Japanese had a combined military force of about 6.3 million and a civilian militia of 28 million men and women. They even went as far as to teach schoolgirls to use spiked stabs against enemies in battle. The Americans were alarmed by the Japanese buildup of defense. It was estimated that if Operation Downfall did go through, the Allied casualties would range anywhere from 2 to 4 million, and the Japanese 5 to 10.
The U.S. was dreading this invasion and was looking for any alternative to a battle by land. That alternative came in the form of a Manhattan Project. When Germany invaded France, many European scientists fled to the U.S. in the fear of being forced to work for the Nazis. When Albert Einstein wrote a letter to President Roosevelt warning that Germany had started to successfully create nuclear fission, he called upon these scientists to start developing an atomic weapon that this world has never seen before. The Manhattan Project was modest in its starting years in 1942, but eventually grew to be $1 billion project, employing 130,000 people in the US, Canada, and United Kingdom. The goal? To create a self-sustaining chemical reaction that converted matter directly into tremendous amounts of energy. After more than 3 years of working in secrecy, the first atomic bomb was tested in mid-July 1945 in the deserts of New Mexico. The atom bomb was ready to go.
On July 26th, Allied leaders issued the Potsdam Declaration, outlining the terms of surrender for Japan. The ultimatum stated that if Japan did not comply, Allies would attack Japan, resulting in the inevitable and complete destruction of the Japanese armed forces, and just as inevitably, the utter devastation of the Japanese homeland. The plane destined to carry the bomb to Hiroshima was named Enola Gay after Colonel Paul Tibbets' mother. The B-29 Superfortress had been fitted with silver plating, stronger engines, and new propellers, all in preparation for carrying its lethal load to Japan.
I saw an aircraft, like a tiny silver drop, entering the sky above Hiroshima. I instantly recognized it as an American plane, as no Japanese aircraft could fly at that altitude at the time. It was just one plane, so I assumed that it was passing by as usual.
The Enola Gay dropped her payload at exactly 8:15. It dropped the bomb in a banking turn, allowing the plane to clear the blast radius and get to a safe distance before the shockwave hit.
It took about 45 seconds from the time the bomb left the airplane until it exploded. And I think there wasn't a man in the airplane that wasn't either timing it with his watch or counting or doing something. I was sure the bomb was a dud. I was sure it wasn't going to work.
Several thousand feet above Japan, timed and barometric switches triggered the bomb, firing a uranium bullet into a small chamber, destabilizing massive amounts of uranium.
I was astonished. It was a startling light. Even if you had your back turned to it, you felt the shock go through, right to the center of your brain. At the same time, any area of skin that was exposed became very hot. Heat. Such burning heat.
Directly below the bomb, temperatures reached up to 4,000 degrees Celsius. Those who were close enough were either vaporized on the spot or turned immediately into carbon. People up to a mile away received such a large dose of radiation that their organs could no longer function and their bodies literally fell apart. The day we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima was the day we realized that we could literally destroy mankind. And it was a shocking day for the world.
The flash was very brilliant and it only lasted a very short period of time. It was over in a few short seconds.